You are listening to WTUZ Radio Podcast. This is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast, and just a real quick follow-up. I know yesterday we did a part 2 to the series, to the podcast series, Old World Tech Hidden in Plain Sight. And we were specifically talking about in that episode the electricity, and I mentioned how Ferrari and Tesla built the first electric cars, or the electric, I think they called it induction engine, if I'm not mistaken. So I literally woke up this morning to a big announcement from Ford. Ford jolts auto industry with $11 billion investment in electric vehicles. The Ford Motor Company gave the auto industry a jolt Monday with word that it plans to spend $11.4 billion on new production sites in Tennessee and Kentucky, where it plans to build electric pickup trucks and cars, and the batteries to power them on a massive scale. It will also create 11,000 jobs in the two states that have struggled to recover from the collapse of the coal industry. Okay, so this goes back to what I have been saying consistently over the last 4 years, that we are moving from a petro-based economy, and I kind of include coal in that as well, from a petro-based economy to a technology economy that will use clean energy. The audacity of Ford's massive investment in electric vehicles was not lost on Ford Executive Chair Bill Ford. If my great-grandfather saw our industry 5 years ago, it would be very recognizable to him. It hadn't changed a lot, he said of the Ford founder, Henry Ford, in an interview with Tom Costello on NBC's Nightly News. There was a lot of evolution, but no revolutions. Now we're on the cusp of a revolution. It's not just the electrification, although that's a huge piece of it. It's also a chance, Ford said in a statement, to achieve goals once thought mutually exclusive: protect our planet, build great electric vehicles Americans will love, and contribute to our nation's prosperity. Of those new jobs, 6,000 are destined for what is being called the Blue Oval City campus in Stanton, Tennessee, a $5.6 billion mega campus where electric versions of the popular F-Series pickup truck will be manufactured along with electric batteries. Okay, so that's a smart move on their part to make sure they include trucks, because Americans, we are in love with our trucks. I have to say, I am one of them, although I don't drive a F-150, but this is a smart move on their part, a very smart move. This new assembly plant is designed to be carbon neutral with zero waste to landfill once fully operational, Ford said in a statement. Now that's interesting. Now the flip side of that, and I'll maybe do another podcast on it, there's been a lot of talk about a carbon tax. So I'm gonna do a podcast on the carbon tax because I've been hearing a lot of rumble about that as well. This is a watershed moment for Tennesseans as we lead the future of the automobile industry and advance manufacturing, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, a Republican, said. The remaining 5,000 new jobs are heading to Glendale, Kentucky, and the 5.8 billion Blue Oval SK Battery Park, where batteries to power the next generation electric Ford and Lincoln vehicles will be manufactured at 2 sites on the campus starting in 2025. Oh, wow, that's right around the corner. This is the single largest investment in history of our state, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat, said. Never again will we be thought of as a flyover state. Our time is now, our future is now. Ford said the United States doesn't have a big battery manufacturing industry, and there was a reason why his company decided to establish a beachhead in 2 states where coal was once king. The one thing that also attracted us to both Tennessee and Kentucky is the workforce, he said. They both have really good workforces and are willing to be trained to do these jobs, and that was a big consideration. Okay, so this is going to be interesting because we know the coal industry has taken a hit. Manufacturing, we know, have just been decimated. So we do know that technology is speeding up faster and faster. They're implementing robotics relatively quickly, as well as with those robotics, artificial intelligence, which is really just a way of saying the software to run the robotics or software in general to do simulations. That is accelerating at rapid speed. So we've talked about this in other podcasts when I told you all that universal basic income will be coming on the horizon because there are going to be millions of jobs that will be lost because of this new technology coming on board. So it's not only going to be manufacturing, which is pretty much already gone. It'll definitely be all entry level retail jobs, fast food jobs. They're even looking to get into the medical field. They're already getting into it. So surgeons, they will have to learn a different way. So instead of performing the surgeries themselves, they will be overlooking the surgeries and putting in the right coordinates into the robotic to perform the surgery. I even saw something where lawyers, they're also doing a lot of artificial intelligence software to write briefs, to go over legal contracts. So you're literally talking, they already have implemented AI with algorithms for trading, stock market trading. If you look at the trading floors today, you don't see a concentration of people like you used to see because all of the trading, the bulk of the trading now is done via computers by using algorithms, and the computers use artificial intelligence software that are able to make decisions and able to adjust their decisions. Okay. I saw something where on the stock market, they're literally hiring now, instead of stockbrokers, they're hiring data scientists, so IT data scientists, as well as artificial intelligence programmers. So this particular technology is going to make a huge leap forward, and it's going to change the way people work. You're going to hear the term future of work. Some of you may have already heard this at your companies. Everybody's trying to prepare for future of work. All right. But just like we talked about in the series, Old World Tech Hidden in Plain Sight, this is technology being reintroduced. Okay. Now, the general population does not know this. 99% of them do not know that, but that is what's going on. So let me continue. Tennessee and Kentucky are so-called right-to-work states where workers aren't required to join unions as a condition of employment. Okay. Yeah, Reagan busted up those unions in the 80s. Y'all can thank him for opening the doorway to start breaking down manufacturing and consequently that getting shipped overseas, which manufacturing is probably going to come back to the States, but it's not going to come back with bodies. So meaning a lot of folks on the floor performing those tasks because it's going to be robotics. They're already doing it with the ports. Okay, I remember the HBO series The Wire, which is a hell of a series, y'all. It was really good. If you haven't seen it, y'all should have seen it by now. But really, 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 really good. I want to say in the second season, it was all about the ports and the port workers. And back then, they were talking about robotics replacing the port workers. That was all the way back then, y'all, in what, the early 2000s. Okay. So manufacturing will come back, but it will never be the same. They're going to use less bodies. So in order to get those manufacturing jobs, they're going to have to be technical. All right. Same with this Ford plant making these electric vehicles. They're going to have to be more technical. Okay. All right. So the company is also setting aside another $525 million to train the technicians across the country who will work to service its new fleet of electric powered vehicles. Of that training money, $90 million will be spent in Texas alone. Okay, well, you know, Texas gonna get theirs in. One thing about Texas, it's the mecca for jobs. If you're in Texas and you don't have a job, you just don't straight want to have no job. So that does not surprise me that Texas is getting a big slice of the pie. I find that interesting because I also think about Elon Musk and his Tesla stuff. I think they're out of Nevada. So just pay attention, family. California, once again, losing out on industry and on jobs as they should. It's a hot mess. All right, let me stay focused and continue. Ford projected that by 2030, some 40% of his company's vehicles will be electric. So 40%, fam. 40%. Okay. So that's what, in the next 9 years. That does not surprise me. I've been talking about this for quite some time, that's the way the industry is going. The flip side, I'm just going to tell y'all, especially you all that are really into cars, maybe time to think about which gas vehicles you want to save as a collector's item. You catch what I'm saying? So, because within the next 10 to 15 years, it's pretty much going to be electric. He vowed to make believers out of skeptics who fear a switch to electric from internal combustion engines means sacrificing power. Okay. I think Elon Musk proved that that's not the case anymore. And remember, This is not new technology. We talked about it yesterday, where back in the late 1800s, they had electric vehicles. Okay. Ferrari built one. Okay. We already had electric vehicles back in the late 1890s. But that technology, someone made the decision, that 1% made the decision to not go with that and go with the gas powered cars. Okay, there was even an attempt several other times in history to make an electric cars, and the car manufacturers purposely killed it. Okay, and some said that the car manufacturers and big oil worked together to kill those electric vehicle ideas. Because remember what I talked about in the series, Old World Tech, Hidden in Plain Sight. There are behind the scenes controllers that make the decision on what technology society will use. Okay? So none of this is new, family. Now they are just starting to reintroduce it, but in most cases, they're saying that it is new. I actually don't think it'll be that hard once they see what these vehicles can do, Ford said. For instance, they're faster than lightning, so to speak, off the line. They're very quick, faster than anything else that's out there. The new battery-powered Ford Mustang Mach-E, which can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.5 seconds, is going to be road tested by the Michigan State Police, he said. Oh, child. Also, Ford said there are some things an electric vehicle can do that the gas-powered ride can't do. For instance, it can be a backup generator for your home, he said. If you lose power, you plug your house into your F-150 Lightning and you can power your house up to 3 days. Also, it can be a portable generator at work sites. Child. When Ford was asked what his great-grandfather would think of your new Model T for the 21st century, I think he'd say, "What took you so long?" Ford replied. Okay, so this article is off of NBC News, but it's all over mainstream, family. So literally, we just talked about this yesterday, and here we go today with Ford making this big announcement on investing in electric vehicles. They're short naming it already EV. So just get ready, fam, but just note, none of this technology, it's new. It's being reintroduced. So we are really in a special time, although it may seem crazy and chaotic. And yes, it's all of that also. But it's quite special when you understand the history of what went down. And you can see the repeated cycles that happen. So I wish everyone well on this Tuesday. This is Rhonda with WTUZ Radio Podcast. Peace and love, family.